Hello students, I hope all of you are doing very well. So in our today's video tutorial, we are going to see Standard 12th Physics Volume 1 Unit 1 Section 185 first, that is capacitor in series. Fine. In this video lecture, you are going to understand when capacitors are connected in series, what is the equivalent capacitance and how to calculate it mathematically. Fine. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel Pratik Singh Classes. Do like and share my channel and also hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video, you will get its instant notification in your Chrome browser or Google browser or any browser which you use in your mobile phone, laptop or desktop. Just type youtube.com/c/Pratik Singh Classes and it will take you to my all the videos related to your subject and also other subjects also. Fine. So let us start our today's video session, that is capacitor in series. Okay, fine. So let us start our today's tutorial video. The topic is capacitor in series and in parallel, section 185. About series and parallel connection in resistors, you already have studied in class 9th and 10th. Okay, same thing will be here, but some alterations. Okay, a very small difference in the combination of resistors and capacitors in series and parallel respectively we will see here. Okay, and we will also find out how to find total capacitance of the capacitors in series and in parallel. The first one is capacitor in series. Okay, so about series you know very well that the capacitors will be attached to each other one by one. Okay, as you can see on the screen. Okay, like this. Fine. This is the series combination of capacitors, and in parallel combination it is just like we have studied about resistors. Okay, it is like this. Okay, as you can see on your screen the way I am drawing. Fine. So coming to the first topic, that is capacitor in series. Consider three capacitors of capacitance C1, C2 and C3 connected in series with a battery of voltage V as shown in figure 1.60a given below. We will see that. Okay, it is just like this one. You have capacitors C1, capacitor C2 and capacitor C3 and they are connected to a battery whose potential is V, or you can say that the potential difference between the terminals of the battery is V. Fine. As soon as the battery is connected to the capacitor in series, the electrons of charge minus Q are transferred from negative terminal to the right plate of C3, which pushes the electrons of some same amount minus Q from left plate of C3 to the right plate of C2 due to electrostatic induction. Okay, so what really happens here is, let us see this figure 1.60a and try to understand what are the things given here. Fine. So let us see this figure 1.60a, okay, and try to understand the things given in the paragraph below. Okay, here three capacitors are given C1, C2 and C3 and they are connected in series. Okay, and a battery is connected to them in series which has voltage V. That means the potential of the battery is V, and when the circuit will be switched on, the current will pass from the battery to the capacitor and again to the battery. Here you always have to keep in mind the direction of flow of charges. Here the charges will flow from the battery's negative terminal to the capacitor and back again to the positive terminal. Okay, that is in anti-clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction. Okay, so charges will flow, charges means electron here will flow, okay, first to C3. Okay, again those charges will push forward and the charges will flow to C2 to C1 and again back to the battery. Okay, but keep in mind that the amount of charge passing or coming out of the battery going to C3 then C2 to C1, okay, and again coming back to the battery will not be same, because some of the charges will be stored in C3, then in C2, then in C1 in the form of electrostatic force, okay, which we have seen in our previous videos. Fine. So that is what it is given in the paragraph, okay, that minus q amount of charge has left from the battery to the capacitor. Fine. Alright, similarly, the left plate of C2 pushes the charges of minus q to the right plate of C1, which induces a positive charge plus q to the left plate of C1. Okay, that means when there will happen the flow of charges, okay, all the charges in the three plates simultaneously will take apart. That means one side negative and other side positive charge, okay, keeping in mind that it will be like negative positive, again negative positive, and again negative positive in C3, then C2, then C1 respectively. Fine. By these processes, each capacitor stores the same amount of charge q. Okay, so what happens here is the charge stored in capacitor C3 is equal to C2 is equal to C1, and that is equal to q. The capacitances of the capacitors are in general different, so that the voltage across each capacitor is also different and is denoted by V1, V2 and V3 respectively. Here V1 for C1, V2 for C2 and V3 for capacitor C3. Okay, one more interesting thing is given here, that even though the charge in all the capacitors are same, but their voltage will be different, or there will be generally different voltage among the different capacitors, and as given here V1, V2 and V3 respectively. Alright, so we have seen that the potentials of the capacitor C1 is V1, for capacitor C2 is V2, and for capacitor C3 is V3. Okay, fine. So total potential across the capacitor, or the total voltage across each capacitor must be equal to the voltage of the battery. That means the voltage provided by the battery will be equal to the sum of voltage of all the capacitors, that is V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay, we know very well from our previous video that Q is equal to C into V, that from here we can get that V is equal to Q by C. Okay, so just keeping in mind this equation, substitute the value of V1 and V2 and V3 in equation 1.103, that is total voltage is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. Okay, here charges in all the capacitors are same, but their capacitances are different. Okay, fine. So taking Q common outside, we will get Q into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3, that is V is equal to Q into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3, that is equation 1.104. Please remember this formula for your future numerical sums. Alright, if three capacitors in series are considered to form an equivalent single capacitor CS, means suppose at the place of three capacitors, those are C1, C2 and C3, we make them equivalent, means instead of 3 we add only one of equal capacity, and the capacity of those three combined capacitors is suppose CS. I have written here C. Now you can see here it is CS. Fine. So shown in figure 1.60b, then we have V is equal to Q by CS. Okay, substituting this expression in equation 1.104, we get Q by CS is equal to Q into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Okay, so Q and Q will be cancelled out from both sides, and we will get 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is the equivalent capacitance of the capacitors connected in series. Here we have taken 3 capacitors, but in general you can take any number of capacitors. Okay, if suppose we have 5 capacitors C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5 respectively, then 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 up to 1 by C5. Fine. So coming back to figure 1.60a and b once again, and let us try to understand what are the things given there. Alright, so the situation is given here in figure 1.60a we already have seen. Okay, so instead of these three capacitors of different capacitance, we substitute only one capacitor of equivalent capacitance and write that as Cs. So you can see here very well that the capacitor and the battery is connected in series. Fine. The voltage of the battery, whenever we say voltage of any battery, that means the potential difference between the plates of the battery. Whenever we say voltage of any capacitor, that means potential difference from one plate to the other plate. Whenever we say that voltage is 120 volt for our home appliances, that means from the main source to the end source, the potential difference is 120 volt. Always remember this thing. It will be very important for you when you will solve the numerical sums related to NEET exam or JEE exam. Fine. So that is what given here. So 1 by Cs, that is total equivalent capacitance of the capacitors connected in series, are given by 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 dot dot dot, like that. So this is what the total capacitance of the capacitor when they are connected in series. Fine. So let us move on to the next topic, what is given in the book. So up to this equation 1.105 we have seen. Thus, the inverse of the equivalent capacitance of three capacitors connected in series is equal to the sum of the inverses of each capacitance. Okay, you can see here this is the inverse 1 by Cs, not Cs. Okay, inverse of Cs is 1 by Cs. So if you have to find total capacitance of the capacitors connected in series, first solve this equation and whatever value you will get, suppose you have got the value x by y, in that situation Cs will be equal to y by x. Okay, so that is the way how we find the equivalent capacitance. This equivalent capacitance Cs is always less than the smallest individual capacitance in the series. Okay, that means if suppose we have the capacitances of capacitors are C1, C2 and C3 respectively. Okay, suppose C1 is smaller than all of the capacitances. Okay, that is C1 is smaller than C2, is smaller than C3. So in that situation, the equivalent capacitance, that Cs will be always smaller than this value also. That means whenever the capacitors are connected in series, the capacitance decreases very lessly. Okay, decreases so high that it becomes lesser than the smallest capacitance available in the series of the capacitors. Okay, so this is what we find the capacitance of the capacitors in series connection. Fine. In our next video, we will see the capacitance of the capacitor when they are attached in parallel connection. Fine.